How many people, this is the first year that you've worked the Marin County Fair, so 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I just want to welcome you to this wonderful team of people. I just got a few things to say, and then I want to introduce our guest speaker, Carol Schofield. And first of all, I just wanted to thank you. Many of you, or all of you, are really the front line staff of the Marin County Fair. You represent us, the general public. Last year, over 122,000 people attend this fair. And very often their experience of attending this fair is with you. The information you provided them, how you greeted them, how you assisted them, etc. And for that, I just want to let you know I really appreciate that, and especially our guests really appreciate that too, because you make their experience wonderful and special. I'd like to think that the Marin County Fair is an organization with passion and purpose. And with a lot of passion and purpose on how we treat our guests, our customers, and that every year we try to raise the bar and increase the expectations and increase the service that we provide our guests. So this year we've invited a speaker to come in, and this is a lady, I can assure you, who has passion and purpose about a topic, and that is excellent customer service for guests. Now, Carol Schofield has attended, the first county fair she attended was the Allegheny County Fair in Pennsylvania. And since then, I think her record, we've attended 34 fairs, she's probably behind me on stage, county fairs, and she's led training sessions for 10 fair associations around the country. And she has some words of wisdom for us this evening about this topic. So without further ado, let me introduce Carol Schofield. Could you please give her a warm Marin County Fair welcome?
Hi, everyone. How y'all doing? Good? Does everybody know what's happening sometime really soon? What's happening? How many are excited about it? That's it? Could I have a little more enthusiasm, please? Come on, you guys. Maybe on day 5 you could go, woohoo. But a week before, you've got to be a little more excited than that. Is it not like the most exciting thing in the whole wide world? Okay, let's see who's in the audience. Who has been a part of this fair for longer than 25 years? Would you raise your hand, please? Any 25 years? Okay, we got a few. Woo-hoo. Anybody longer than 25 years? Raise your hands.
Longer than 25, yes. I've been 34.
34. Anybody beat 34? Let's hear higher than 34. How about 20? Okay. 15? 10? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Never. Woo-hoo! Look at all this new energy coming to the Marin County Fair. Yay. How many in this room have not been to the Marin County Fair? You probably don't want to raise your hand with Jim in the audience. Keep your hands down. Oh, you just moved here last week. Oh, okay. So, my name is Carol Schofield, and I love the fair. And do you know why I love the fair? Because I love to play. I love to leave all my problems outside the gates, come on in and pretend the world is perfect. And guess what? It's your job to make sure that happens for me. Did you all know that? So, I brought some tips with me tonight. 7 tips on this little card, designed to make sure that every single one of you in this room will be shining all 5 days of the fair. So you all ready? Here we go. The first most important thing is when you are representing the Marin County Fair, you got to be listening. What are you listening for? Anybody? What do you think?
Music.
Music, good. And when you don't hear any, that's kind of scary, isn't it? It is. I've been to fairs where you walk around the grounds and there are stages set up everywhere, only there's nothing on them. Not much fun. Am I right? Yeah. So when you don't hear the music, it is kind of scary. listening for?
Where's the restroom?
Where's the restroom? Is that the number one question you get asked? Yes. Does everyone know where the restrooms are? Yes. Does everyone know where the good ones are? Yes. Oh, okay. Just checking. Just checking. Every fairgrounds has what? The good ones, and then the ones the kids use somewhere, off somewhere. Am I right? Yes. So what else should we be listening for at the fair? What do you think?
Drinking fountains.
Drinking fountains. We should be listening for what? People's needs. Am I right? And we should be prepared as representatives of the Marin County Fair to be able to answer those questions. And so it means we have to do our homework, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here. So, listening is the number one tool you have to diffuse other people's anger. Because, see, not everyone who comes to the Marin County Fair is going to come with joy in their heart. You all know that?
Right.
There might be a cranky one here too. Or do you not let them on the grounds, Jim? You screen them. You screen them at the gate. On everybody. Okay, well then you guys are good to go. Don't worry about this one. But truly, if you have someone who... Does everyone know what anger is? Does everyone know that it's not an emotion? Does everybody know that?
Yes, it's a flying bird trying to hit a cage. We all know.
No, it's a communication tool. And anger is, are you ready? Anger is unfulfilled expectations. That's what it is. Think about it. Think about a time when you were angry. You were probably angry because you had an expectation in someone what? Or something didn't meet it. Now the reality is, it isn't about them, is it? No, it's about you because your expectation might be what? Not achievable. But guess what? We, as the fair industry, have to work real hard to make it achievable. Am I right? So we want to listen. We want to offer solutions, not reasons. That's a biggie, folks. See, if my expectation isn't met, I don't want you to tell me why it wasn't met. I don't want you to tell me how you're going to meet it, or when you're going to meet it, or what you have as an alternative for me. And when I'm willing to listen up, guess what? People, all they want to be. Think about the time when you were angry. What did we want? We wanted someone to what? Listen to us. We wanted someone to be empathetic. We wanted someone to say, no, if that happened to me, I wouldn't be a very happy trooper either. And here's what we can do for you. Here's what we got. So we want to listen. If we don't take care of our customers, someone else will. Does everyone know that? See, there were lots of years, way back when I began my career in the fair industry, and I'm from Nevada County. Do you all know where that is? It's not in Nevada. It's in California. It's up in Grass Valley in Nevada City, and if Jim weren't in the room, I would tell you truly it is California's most beautiful fairgrounds. But he'll probably throw a spitball at me, so I'll just tell you that we partner very well. It is a beautiful grounds, and it's a beautiful fair. But the reality is, way back when, we were almost the only game in town. In our small town, businesses would close and say, gone to the fair. But guess what? There's lots of games in town right now. There's lots of competition going on. And while we don't have a casino, and I don't know if you have a casino, the reality is there's stuff going on that other people can go and spend their money there. And we want them to come here, have an amazing experience, and leave their money here. And they'll only do that because of you, if you shine. So, chisel a culture. What does that mean? So, there's some pictures on there that I'd like you to look at. So, for example, this one here, this actually is from, there's 4 different fairs on here. Some I will tell you what the fair is and some I won't. This one is the Nevada County Fairgrounds. And what I mean by chiseling a culture is that it is your job to create an environment that no matter where people go on this fairgrounds, there's nothing but excellence. That's all they're going to find. They're going to keep bumping in and trying to find somebody who's cranky. And it's not going to be anybody who has come to support the success of the Marin County Fair. And you're going to be and be willing to do what? Whatever needs to be done. So in that picture, you have some really crazy people. You actually will see in that picture, well, there's me, and there's some volunteers. There's the husband of the CEO. There's a wife of a former CEO of a different fair, and her husband, the CEO. And everybody played because we needed someone to be in our parade. So it wasn't their job, but they did it because they loved the fair. Over here is, I can't remember what fair that is. It was a great exhibit. And one of the best things about fairs is the creativity of the fair. How many have been to other fairs besides your own? Oh, cool. Because that's the other thing I tell people. You know, get off the island. Go see what's out there. Over here, does anybody know what fair that one is? Anyone know that one? Jim, do you know that one? That's your fair.
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Oh, that's art.
That is Andy Warhol. And guess what? Everybody know who Andy Warhol is?
Yes.
I spent a weekend with him in New York City. Because my sister-in-law is his niece. So I love that you had Andy there, because I don't have a picture of me with Andy, and now I do. Down here is a fair. I'm not going to tell you who it is. See those three little guys there? They're trying to get in. The fair is open. It's been open for a couple hours. And they want to go see what's in that building. And they can't, because it's locked. Because there's a sign that says, "Judging in progress, sorry." You know, if your fair is open, it should be open for people to come see. We want everyone to be available to our fair. Okay, anybody know this fair?
That's our fair.
That's your fair, you bet it is. And it's your Orchid Society. And I'm going to tell you, those men and women who are part of that exhibit were so welcoming, and we could hardly get away. They just wanted to talk about it, and they were so excited about what they were bringing to the fair. And over here, oops, we're back to the Nevada County Fair, and an example of what I mean by chiseling a culture. Because that gentleman there is the superintendent of that big building, and guess what? Somebody spilled something. Ever happened at the fair? Yeah. And the reality is, what do we usually do? We get on our radio and we call maintenance. Maintenance spilled. No. Went and got himself a mop and cleaned it up. So we're going to chisel a culture that says, we're here no matter what role we play to make sure you, the fairgoer, have an incredible experience. Know your stuff. Make sure you know the product. So for my friends there who have never been to the fair before, I would recommend you to wander around. Check it out, see where everything is, because you are the experts, am I right? When people ask, you really need to know, and you got a little book to help you. Where things are located. I went to a fair, I can tell you which one. I went to a fair and they had this big round building and it said, Information Service Center. So I wandered up and I said, so, where's your floriculture building? And the gentleman in the booth said, lady, I don't know. I don't do flowers. Is that good service? No. Do I care if he doesn't like flowers? No. All I want to know is what? Where's the floriculture building? Yeah. Make sure you sample the product. I've actually worked with fairgrounds where staff have never been on the grounds during fair. They're too busy. No, you've got to be out and touching it and feeling it. It's got to be clinging to you. You have to be walking, talking, living it to be able to deliver excellence. It's so important for the success. Know and use your little service book. This thing is a gem, a gem. In fact, we are stealing it away with us tonight to share at the Nevada County Fair. Because it's jam-packed full of good stuff, and guess what? The card was designed. So you can put it inside, put it in a pocket, a fanny pack, or one of those purses like I have you can wear over that's just little and you can just stick it in there. It's got everything you need to be a star. A star. What are my recommendations for you? It's personal, so you do with it whatever you want. But I would ask you, if I asked class, don't say these words to me. If somebody asks you something and you don't know, don't say, I don't know. And don't lie. So, what do? Yes. See, if you asked me a question and I said, I don't know, but let me find out for you. And then you asked me another question and I said, I don't know, I have a friend who knows, I'll let you know. And then someone else asked me a question and I said, I don't know. What are you all thinking right now? What does she know? And how'd she get on the stage instead of me? I know a whole lot more than she does. But how about this? If you ask me a question and I say, well, you know, I have a friend, and I know the exact person to call to get that information for you. I have my nifty little book here that has everything I need to get you to the right place. Now, I still don't know. But instead of being, see, I think the words I don't know is like a barrier. How many would agree? When someone says I don't know to you, don't you feel like, well, they don't care? They're not interested, it's an easy way out. So there becomes a wall. Where if I say, let me check my book, let me talk to my cohort, let me get that information for you, I am now an ambassador to the fair. I am modeling stellar service. And guess what? I'm really picky about service. I know some of you have heard me say this before. And you know why I'm picky? Because I'm the ultimate consumer, but I work really hard for my money. And so when I'm going to give it to you, I want something back. I want a smile. I want some knowledge. I want some enthusiasm. I want some passion. I want some caring. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Oh, thank glory. Day 5. But I want it all. Because see, I'll probably come all 5 days. So I'll be looking. It's like when you go to a grocery store, they have the A team and the B team. Do you all know that? The A team works from like about 6 in the morning until about 6 in the evening. And then the B team comes in after that. And they are actually considered in some industries the lesser of the service-oriented people. But guess what? My money with the A team is the same as my money with the B team. So I want what? A service. A service. The secret to success is to treat all customers as if your world revolves around them. I would invite you to memorize that. Because that is the key to success. That is like the golden nugget of your success in service. Is to make me feel like I am the most important person on these grounds. Because guess what? I am. Well, at least I think I am. Don't you think you are when you're getting service? Don't you believe you're the most important person there is? So you want to be that person. Backstage, what does that mean? It means be respectful of those people who give you their time, their money, and their dreams to come to the Marin County Fair. What does respectful mean? It means look them in the eye when you speak. Greet them with a smile. Remember to be respectful of age. It's okay if you don't call me madam, though. I'm okay with that. And also, respect their right to have a comfortable environment. What does that mean? If 2 of you are standing around bickering, or talking about how hard Jim is to work with, is that being respectful for me? No. Is that making a comfortable environment for me? No. I've been at fairs where we've gone to get some food, we sit down at a table, and we have to listen to 2 apparent staff people complaining about the fairgrounds, complaining about the staff, complaining about the fairgoers. Is that a good image for the Marin County Fair? I don't think so. Remember that you are always on. Always on. From the moment you walk on the grounds, and I would say until you leave the grounds, but unfortunately, guess what? Like Nevada County, this is a fairly small community, would you agree? And once people recognize you on the grounds, guess what? You're still a representative of a Marin County fair at the grocery store, in the parking lot, at church, at school, anywhere. You are a representative. So we're always on, always. Customer service is not a department, it's an attitude. How many fairs have we been to where there's signs that say, "Do not touch"? All seen those? And there's a reason, isn't there? I mean, there's an obvious reason why we ask people not to touch. They're people's treasures. They're important to them. They spend hours and hours and hours working on them. And they're sharing them with the community. And we don't want someone with grubby hands, some little kid coming along and breaking it. But could we express ourselves in a more pleasant, a more service-oriented way? I love this one. This hung in a building where the fine arts were, where the quilts are, and the needlework, and the knitting. Magical Scarlet says if you touch the exhibits, you may disappear. Now, I asked the people who were in charge of that building, I said, did it work? Did it help? And they said, well, about 50% of the time. Okay, we have 50% less touchy-feelies. Am I right? Or when you walk in, you've just gone and got that $75 Coke at the vendors, you know, it's this big. And you got that sandwich, it probably cost you another $50. And you want to go in this building, there's a big sign that says, "No food or drink." So what am I going to do with this? Now, at our fair, I have little hideout places. But how about if we had a sign that said, "Please enjoy our fair food and your drinks before entering our buildings"? How much nicer that sounds then. No food or drink. We want it to be welcoming rather than getting in the way of them coming. So what can we do differently that'll make it better? Get off the island. So those of you who've gone to other fairs, maybe you, go check it out. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, do we? See, we come to Marin, and we go, okay, take a picture. We're doing that. Catch a plant thing. Next year, Nevada County Fair, there you go. We got one. Why not? Team approach, that means anything that needs to be done. See, words never to cross your lips. Not my job. Except security and those kind of things. But I mean, you know, if it's an easy thing, why not? Why not? Make sure you support customer service internally and externally. Does everybody know the difference between internal service and external service? What's internal service? Anybody? Anybody know? I'm sorry?
Attitude.
It is attitude, but it's also your relationship with each of you. See, because guess what? As a consumer, I can tell. I can tell when one of you are having a bad day. Can you all tell when people are having a bad day? Yeah. See, I shouldn't be able to tell. If I tell, you're not doing your job. And that attitude thing, you know about that attitude thing? There's two kinds. Everybody know? Everybody know what they are? What are the two kinds of attitude floating around? No. 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 Well, 50%. See, there's either good attitude or fake it until you make it. Truly. See, the fair industry is about playing, so you get to be an actress. I can't tell you, I hardly ever work on stages like this. Is like the coolest thing. You're never going to get me now. This is like fun. This is the movie star that never was, right here. So that's your chance at the fair. You get to play. You get to play. Be realistic and optimistic. Have conversations about what you can do. I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, at all costs, try to stay away from the word no and the words we can't do that. Because when you do that, you put up this wall and people go, well, they don't care about me. They're just being cranky. Sir, this is what we can do for you. This is what we have available. This is what I can offer you. We would love for you to join us to do this. Sound different? Sound better? Sound like a place you want to hang out in? I think so. Don't promise what you can't deliver. Oh, let me go get you season passes for the rest of your life to the Marin County. I hope you have a lot of money, because I'm going to guess that those now become your financial obligation. So we're not going to promise what we can't deliver, because then we look silly. But we're going to do our homework and look at what's available out there. What can I do? And most important, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have fun. If you're not having fun, how can I have fun? How many have ever gone to a party at somebody's home? Anybody been to a house party at somebody's home? And it actually is a really nice party, but it's obvious the host and the hostess are really stressed. They might even like be nipping at each other. Have you ever been to one of those parties? Do you have as much fun? No, because you're waiting for what? You're waiting for everybody to get cranky because, guess what? Negativity is catching. Does everyone know that? Y'all know that? See, here's my advice about negativity. Don't walk away from it, ladies and gentlemen. Run! And run as fast as you can, because it is catching. Do y'all know that? Yeah. For those of you who are all working together for 5 days in a building and you get one person that's kind of cranky, and all they talk about is what's not working, day one, you're okay, right? I'm above this. I am a star. This is going to be a stellar fair. Day two, might be a little bit of feelings like. Day four, you get the fair goer from you nowhere. And all of a sudden, you're buying it and going, you know? Jesse's right. I hope there's no Jesse's in the room. Jesse's right. It's a terrible job. Hated it, don't know why I took it. It's catching. So stay away from it. If you don't like what you're doing, Jim will love this. Do something else. But the reality is, do you think the fair staff, after all the energy and all the time and all the effort and all the money and the board of directors put into creating this incredible event for the county, that they want people roaming around on their grounds representing them who don't want to be there? Do you think? I don't think so. They want you, the people of passion, to be out there, running around and having a good time and playing. And is it hard to play on day 4? Do we have to remind ourselves to smile a little harder on day 5? Yeah. But guess what? We said we would. We said we could. And we can. Because we choose to. We choose to. It's a choice. Does everybody know that? It's a choice. It's about the heart versus the dollars. Bottom line. So, I want you to turn to somebody next to you around. You can do it in 2s or 3s or 4s. And I want you to have a quick conversation about what is your role at this fair. Everybody ready? Go. your service. What else?
Safety.
Safety. Make sure everyone has a what? Safe experience at the Marin County Fair. What else? I'm sorry?
Take tickets.
Take tickets. That's your job. But your role is to take that ticket with what? A smile and a welcome. I'll look them in the eye and go, thank you for coming to the Marin County Fair. Thank you for sharing with us, youth. I mean, that sounds pretty silly and kind of stilted. But people look at you and go, really? You really care that I came? Because how many times have you gone in somewhere where someone took a ticket, didn't make eye contact, didn't acknowledge there was actually a body moving through? Did you feel welcome? Did it feel like a place you wanted to stay and play? I don't think so. Truly. People ask, how many times a day do you get asked, how are you? And what most of us say? Fine. You know what I say? I say, awesome. And one day, someone said to me, come on, tell me the truth. Are you really always awesome? Do you care? I mean, honestly, do you care whether I'm awesome or not? So why would I? Because when we say, how are you, do we really want to know? No, I don't have time. I've got my own stuff. Sorry. So why not? Hi, thanks for being here. We're so glad you're here. And at that gate, at that moment, when that person comes through for you who are taking tickets, it's an opportunity to make a friend for life. A partner. A partner. Hey, that lady was nice to me. But guess what? Here's how it works. That lady was really nice to me, and then I walked down the street and I went into a building. And those people were really great. Oh, they were wonderful. They were so nice, they were so caring, and they were helpful, and they knew where things were, and this is my first time here, and they obviously loved the fair, and they shared that with me, and then I went down a little further. I went and got something to eat. Oh, the people were great when I went and got something to eat. And then I went a little further, and then I ran into a cranky dudette. I always say dude, so tonight it'll be a dudette. Guess what? That dudette that was cranky just erased all that good. Do y'all know that? That's how important it is for every single one of us who are representing whatever industry. The Marin County Fair, when you don your shirts, when you take on that official badge that says who you are, you're on. You are the star. See, Zendaya only thinks she's the star. But the reality is, they're not going to be able to enjoy Zendaya unless what? You create an environment where they're comfortable, where they feel wanted, where they know someone cares. Because there's a lot of people who nobody cares. And it's our responsibility to make sure that happens. So what is your role at the fair? To make sure everyone has fun and an awesome experience. Who walks out of here and says, I'm coming back. And I'm bringing a friend or two. Because see, them leaving and coming back's great. But where you scored big time is when they say, and I'm bringing my friends. My friends are going to have a good time here because of you. How is what you're doing making someone else's life better? All right, everybody, back in a huddle. Quick, 3 minutes. Quick, have a conversation with your... Share what you do with your fellow cohorts out there. Okay, time. Somebody tell me how what you're doing is making someone's life better. The gentleman right there had his hand up.
I would
Absolutely. Good. How about that ticket taker who does smile? Maybe that person hasn't gotten a smile in a month. And that sounds melodramatic, but guess what? It is true. It is true. I saw a hand. Where'd it go? Right there.
Well, I was going to say just what he said, but I'll put one more input on that. With a smile, the attitude changes on that person.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when they come and they're standing in line and they're tired and they're anticipated for 2-3 days to come here, if you give them a smile and give them a good feeling, it brings all that back to them.
Absolutely. And when people are standing in lines and they finally get there, ticket in hand and ready to go in, you're going to say, you know what? We really appreciate you waiting, and we know it is going to be so worth the wait. When you get in there, have a great time. Make it a great fair. Create a memory. Create a memory. That's what you are. Do you all know that? That is your role at the Marin County Fair, is to create memories. Good ones, not cranky ones. Good ones. For those you interact with at the fair who are staff people, and also for yourself and the fair goer. See, we don't want any satisfied customers in the fair industry. We want partners. We want people to walk off these grounds and say, my Marin County Fair. My fair. My fair took care of me. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing more exciting to me than the fair industry. Well, maybe my grandkids. But the reality is, it is a wonderful industry. It's been around for a long time. I know some of you have played in it for a very long time. And I wish you well for a fabulous, outrageous run of your fair. Not just on day 1, not just on day 2, but on day 5 that everybody's running around having themselves one heck of a good time because of you. Thank you for including me in this special night for you. Go get them, have a good time, and Jim, congratulations.
Let's give Carol a big round of applause. I think we already did. She was awesome. Anyway, my name is Christian. I work here for the fair, and we're just going to zip through this second part of this training. I do want to really thank you all for coming out. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Awesome. Overview. Well, we went through the introduction. Jim introduced Carol. Carol's awesome speaker. I think that she had some really good points there. We're going to go over some information real quick, some what's new, and a lot of the stuff's in the book, so just make sure you guys read that customer service book. Jim's our director, Marin Boyd, our deputy director. She handles all those commercial exhibitors that are out in the fairgrounds, and that's a big, big, big job. Tony Talbert is our technical coordinator. He's not here tonight, but he makes sure everything works. And then Charlie Barboni, all those exhibits, I think over 10,000 exhibits came in. A lot of you guys helped with that. Thank you very much. David Zollner takes care of our building. Chris Howler, I think he's up here, box office. Myself, and I'm helping out with the ushers, George, Grania, and Janet, Cindy. A whole bunch of stuff to help this fair happen, including you guys. Thank you so much. This is in the book, so I'm not going to really go over that, but please do read it. The overview of the fair, everyone looks at that. Does that look familiar to everybody? That was taken a few years ago. If anyone has a friend that's flying over the fair this year and takes a picture, give me a copy of it. Fair dates, general information. Everyone should know that number on the top, that 473-6400. And again, all this is in the book, so make sure you review that. Is everyone a Facebook fan here of the fair? Okay, go on to Facebook and become a friend, all right? Our fair hours are 11 to 11 daily, but we do close the gates at 10 o'clock. And some of the other exhibits close a little bit earlier than that. The carnival stays open till 11. Our prices this year have stayed the same. We haven't raised them. again, Carol was mentioning there's a lot of competition out there. We want people to keep coming back. Couple of days, the Children's Day and the Independent Day are all the same date this year. It's on Wednesday. Okay, this is our theme this year, Schools Rules. Does anyone know about the Schools Rules Foundation? So we're actually partnering with the Marin County Office of Education, and we're having our theme about the schools rules this year. And they're actually doing an event the day before the fair on the island. I believe it's sold out, where it's an auction, and they're getting a lot of money for the School Rules Foundation. So more power to them. What's new this year? The Entry Plaza. I don't know if you noticed the construction in front of the theater there, but we made it easier for folks with disabilities to get in and out of our building. We've also added 25 additional parking spots, which I'm sure will all be used during the fair. On the island, we made it a little easier for folks, again, with disabilities to get out there. It's more welcoming. The Marin Innovators is happening here in the exhibition hall. It's a whole host of exhibitions hosted around education and also Make Your World. It's going to be out on the lawn area. The Enchanted Circus, that's the event I was talking about the night before the fair. New technologies. Does everyone have apps? Does everyone know what apps are? I'm still learning about this, but the fair's going to have an app, and you can actually go online and get schedules and updated services. We're also going to be selling in line. There's going to be folks selling in those long lines out there. Little tablets that Chris is going to have some staff go out and sell to people online so they don't have to wait as long. Hopefully get in quicker. And we got new hand soap. You want to see the hand soap in the bathrooms? It's lavender. Anyway, we teamed up with EO Products, and they have, you can see it. We've got some in the hallway too if you want to just sanitize your hands on the way out. We got some concerts coming up here at the fair. This is listing. For the ushers, we still have opportunities if you haven't already signed up and you're interested in signing up for any of these concerts, as long as it doesn't conflict with what you're already working. George will have the sign-up sheets out in the lobby. Okay. So we got 5 days of really good music coming up. Guests with disabilities, I just want to mention that we have all kinds of folks that come to the fair. And some folks have trouble, might have trouble with mobility issues. They might have some, might be visually impaired. They might have some trouble hearing. But that being said, all guests are welcome here. And we just want to make sure that we treat everybody with respect and welcome them into our fair. It's really important. Frequently asked questions. That's the top one, I think, right? So we already talked about that. There's a lot of those in the guest book. Make sure you read those. Because people, like Carol said, it's better to have a little empowerment and kind of have an answer if you can. And again, also the guest service guide. I really don't want to go over a lot of that, but there's some really good tools in that booklet. Make sure you read that. I think Carol covered a lot of those. Basic rules and regulations haven't changed except the item about 7 bullets down. Display of identifiers. You may have read about that in the newspaper. But we really are trying to do our best to make this a safe fair, and hopefully we don't have any issues with that. We do have sheriff's deputies, police, parole, people, quite a few people looking out for things. And again, you guys, an extra set of eyes and ears. If you happen to notice anything that doesn't look right, feel right with you. Let us know right away so we can check it out. The emergency plan, when an emergency occurs, your primary responsibility is to help patrons in an appropriate manner. That means if you're an usher in the building, you might help with the evacuation procedure. If you're an exhibit monitor, again, you might want to know where those exits are. If you're an ambassador, again, knowing that we have plans in place and knowing the grounds and the layout of the land is really important. You always want to remain calm and get help. Typically, the situations you might see is a medical situation. We do have first aid on site here. They're professional EMTs. The first aid is located in 2 locations. It's in the Toyin Room and the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. Also out at the Carnival Gate, they'll have a second location. If you see something that's life-threatening, like a heart attack and someone's not breathing, go ahead and make 911 call. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and apply first aid. But again, the 911 call, if you do make that, it's really important to know your location. Stay on the phone with the dispatch operator until they say it's okay to hang up. And also be very clear with what's going on in your location and who you are. Fire, again, if you notice or smell smoke, let someone know right away. If you see a blaze or a fire, call 911 if that's the right thing to do. We have some buildings, in our building here we do have fire pull stations. Again, control those if it's necessary. And again, always urge patrons to leave the affected areas of those buildings. Earthquake, hopefully we won't see one of these in our fair, but they happen. And again, main things: remain calm, stay in your area, wait till ride it out, and get help if we need to. Loss of power, sometimes that happens. We do have generators that back up for just basic lighting. Typically a power outage, hopefully it's not too long, we try to ride those out. And again, you would want to wait and check with your supervisor or person in charge to see what the next instructions would be. Hazardous conditions, again, might be electrical wires exposed, there might be a spill that's slippery. Again, let us know about it right away so we can take care of it. Did I forget anything? Anyway, that was kind of quick and brief. Most of that stuff, all of that stuff's in your handbook, so please take time to read that. Again, we're going to break out now. Ushers, if you can just get in here. Ticket sellers and ticket takers go with Chris. Health ambassadors, I think are going to go out in the hallway, and the rest are excused. And thank you.